November 22nd, code revealed $150 trillion on the move annually. ISO 222 moves everything funneled to the Xrpl. SWIFT, the old system, is burning down. And as you can see, Donald Trump made this legal. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's blessed, having an awesome day. I want to tell everybody that if you're seeing this right now, this is not by coincidence. I think the Saudi deal today, where they put another $400 billion in on top of the $600 billion investment, I think it speaks volumes to my thesis. And I'm going to share everybody, if you don't know what my thesis is or you don't know anything about it, they're on my long videos or whatever. I don't get many views, but it's interesting because it's hitting on the dot. You know what I'm saying? History always repeats, but it does seem a little different. It's funny how history does. It's just a different tune, but it's definitely, if you're watching things, if you know history, and it's not the funny bunny history, it's the real history, because not all history is real. We'll get onto that later one day probably, but this is true history. This is if you're following the money, and you start to see things. You start to see, like 1971, when the gold back came off of the USD, because all foreign countries wanted to cash in on their USD, and they wanted to say, hey, I'm going to give you the USD back, give me the gold out of your reserve, and I'm good to go, thank you very much. Well, what ended up happening is that 20,000 tons of gold on our reserves went down to 8,000 tons of gold in the reserves very quickly. So they had to stop that. They had to say, we are putting a stop. There's going to be no allowing any countries to cash in their USD for gold, and that's it. Bottom line. And we're gonna put a stop to that now, because it's not good for us. And if we let you deplete all of our gold, guess what that's gonna do to our dollar? Yep, it's gonna destroy our dollar. It's gonna make it powerless, weak, because there's nothing to back it at all. So it was the only move they could do to save what was going on. All right. So, but the gold backing's off, but we're still printing money. So then by 1973, we make a deal with Saudi to, hey, when you sell oil, make sure when you sell oil that you only sell oil in USD dollars. Okay? So if you sell it to France, and if France sells it to you, or whatever interaction you guys have with your oil trade, make sure it's in USD. So what that ended up doing is that ended up saving our economy, because it put those USDs, that USD out of our circulation into the oil circulation type of deal, if you want to look at it like that. And it neutralized the power of the dollar in a way, until debt and lots of other things came in. But what it did is it helped save our economy. It helped save the strength of our dollar. It helped neutralize what was going on with the money printer, and it was a hoorah moment for financial success, short-lived. 1974, though, it wasn't that short-lived then, because by 1974, all OPEC nations joined that deal. Okay, and it was a thriving mama. Okay, well, that deal fades away by 2022, And it's not really gone, but you definitely see China's buying gold from Kuwait, or gold. They're not buying, sorry, that might be. But no, they're buying oil shipments, whole container shipments of oil, okay, worth tons of money, okay, billions and billions, right, worth. And they're already showing that they've already de-dollarized, not needed to use USD for 20% at least of what they need. Okay, so when you see that this is happening and you see that we need that, then now all of a sudden, what are we going to do? We're like, well, crud. They're not selling with USD dollars the oil anymore. That deal kind of fading out. How are we going to get on top of this? What we're going to get on top is we're going to make a deal with Saudi. All right, and we're going to see if they want to be part of this new revolution too, this crypto revolution, right? This digital rail system that I keep saying. And we're going to tell them, hey, our whole banking system's going elite, top notch. We're doing an upgrade. We're going to look like the new Men in Black around here. We're going to look like, the Jetsons. All right, flying around on little spaceships, people. We're going to have flying cars in the United States. We're going to have the first trillionaires. You ever heard of a trillionaire over here? Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Because, see, that's where we're going to understand oil made millionaires, internet made billionaires, and crypto is going to make trillionaires. Specifically, I believe XRP, if you had enough, or we'll get into that, but I really super believe it. Once staking XRP could be crazy amounts of money, because we can't think about it. You can't grasp the understanding of what the value of XRP could really be, because you're saying, oh, there's 100 billion, or there's 50 billion, or there's this many billion. But yeah, with the ETFs that are going to gobble up some state, that are going to have circulating tied up there, with staking farms that are going to have it tied up over here, because guess what? XRP is not a stable coin, so you can stake it. If it was a stable coin, you couldn't stake it. You know how that is. It's just mysterious how everything that you need it to be, to help regulate the value, the stability of the value, right? For that liquidity reason, probably. Wink, wink. But it all lines up to the perfect liquidity monster to fight it, to use it. It's the best thing to use. And when Saudi just had the deal today, when they just talked to Donald Trump about hey, we're going to give $1 trillion for this digital, for this technology shift, the AI shift, for this. They're talking about how they're going to save money. You're going to save money, so much money, blah, da, 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 da. Let's watch that clip right now. Let's watch it. All right, here we are. By Watcher Guru. He's awesome. Look, it has 1.3 million views. Okay, this is big. This is that big 1973 moment that I'm trying to tell you. Look, is it ironic that same money that I'm talking about is the front line to a conversation 4 days before the November 22nd shift? It's kind of like it's telling everybody, hey, yo, big boss over here is telling everybody, you best line up. OPEC boss. But anyway.
Today and tomorrow we're going to announce that we are going to increase that $600 billion to almost $1 trillion of investment, real investment and real opportunity by details in many areas. And the agreement that we are signing today in many areas in technology, in AI, in earth materials, magnet, etc., that will create our...
Did he say payment materials? I don't know if he said payment, but if he just said that, holy moly, man.
Of investment opportunities.
So you are doing that now. You're saying to me now that the 600 billion will be 1 trillion.
Definitely, because what we are signing, it will facilitate that, and we
I like
will
that
build
very
on
much.
it.
He works hard. No, that's great. I appreciate that. That's great. We're doing numbers that nobody's ever done. And in all fairness, if you didn't see potential in the U.S., you wouldn't be doing that.
Definitely.
You don't want to lose money.
As you said, Mr. President, it's the most
Okay,
hottest
right there. Did you hear him? You don't want to lose money. You don't want to lose money.
in the planet. But what you're creating is not about opportunity today. It's about also long-term opportunity in the United States of America that will affect American economy positively in the next coming decades. Preparing the right foundation of emerging technologies, that's a game changer for America in a good way, and we want to be part of it.
Okay, you just heard it. You just heard it. They want to be part of it. They want to be part of it. Okay? They want to be part of it. All right? They put 400 other billions, and then he goes, do we need to watch the other part where it's like...
In earth materials, magnet, and...
I like that very much.
That's right.
We're doing numbers that nobody's ever done. And in all fairness, if you didn't see potential in the U.S., you wouldn't be doing that.
Definitely.
You don't want to lose money.
As you said, Mr.
You
President,
don't want to lose
it's the most hottest country in the planet. But what you're creating is not about opportunity today. It's about also long-term opportunity in the United States of America that will affect American economy positively in the next coming decades. Preparing the right foundation of emerging technologies, that's a game changer for America in a good way, and we want to be part of it.
Anyway, you see it right there. He wants to be a part of it. He's putting $400 billion more down on it. It's the funnel system, because see, if he's part of the new digital shift and he's part of the next shift, and he's like, this is gonna get interesting. Wait a minute, I can maximize here, maximize there, and at the end of the day, all it does is need to settle on the Xrpl. That's all they're saying, and that's the best way to settle anyway. Sold, done. I'm gonna join this shift. I'm gonna join that bandwagon, and we're gonna do this, okay? And you're gonna see this what I thought was gonna be a slow shift, gonna be the fastest shift ever. Because what was the adoption of the cell phone? It was the fastest thing ever. What was the adoption of the design of the cell phone? Fastest thing ever. Was it? Internet fastest. Almost fast. A little slower than cell phone. Everything has gone ramped up. It went from how fast did the computer, speed up. Then it went to the internet. And then it went to this and that, and everything just kept going. Then the adoption rate just sped up to where the adoption rate on this is going to be so out of control. I'm telling you, people, it's going to be wild. Okay, because they're not going to want to get left in the dust. Why he's saying is, I know you would want to save money because they're saving 90% of the fees. Okay, when you do that math with the $150 trillion, okay, going through, you start to mathematically see where there's $6.7 trillion in fees to be saved. You really think that these other companies are going to watch people save hundreds of billions of dollars and spend the hundreds of billions of dollars? And no way. He's going to join the system. He's not dumb. He's not dumb. He's going to join it because it's free. Okay? It's permissionless. It makes sense. It makes sense. And by the way, remember what the masters that are working at Ripple on it. Let's look at what they're saying right now. Look at Brad. Brad just said that. And it's funny because I'll show you two videos. You're going to see where Brad's hair is when you're like, well, this has got to be working for a long time. They need to be doing this for, this is going to take at least 10 years and blah, 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 blah. Dude, look at this guy's hair. His hair is whiter than mine, and I got white hair. Okay, I got some white hair. And maybe me and Brad could probably, actually, I take that back. We're probably identically the same white hair. Okay, black mixture. So I better take that back. I'll wear a hat to hide my whiteness, you know what I mean? But anyway, check out these two clips I have for Brad. We're going to go to the Brad in 2017 Okay, but you got to think Brad Garlinghouse really joined this thing in 2015, and what I'm going to show you, what Brad's clips are going to be about, is the first clip's going to show you about how he talks about what XRP is, what they're doing with XRP, why they're doing it with XRP, the importance of XRP, and they're basically telling you that, you know, what they are, you know, who Ripple is, and yada yada yada. You know, Ripple is a company. And XRP was a crypto that was created, that was not created by Ripple. Okay, it was not created by Ripple. Ripple adopted it. I mean, Ripple, that's their main egg, their main focus though, is XRP. They've designed the ledger and everything, the software around this coin. That's where the magic happens. Okay, so that's the special juice here. But listen to what they've been doing, and the reason why they've been doing this from day one is because Swift they've seen the brokenness, they've seen the friction, they've seen the problems, they've saw a solution. So they've been building this solution, and the reason why I say, you know, like, hey, don't act like they haven't been building it for 10 years, because this man's hair goes from young brown Studley, okay, to Studley Frost, like myself. Okay, so you can tell there's been plenty of a 10 to 12 year gap here, and they put the guy through a stress like no other, because they aged his hair like no other. I mean, if anything, they owe that man 20 years of hair color back on his hair. You know, watch it. We're going to watch it together. Watch the whole thing. If you're watching this whole video, you're getting something. I'm telling you right now. And if you're not getting anything, I'm crazy. All right, right here, this is where Brad tells us where he joined. And actually, I'm going in reverse here. Hold on. I'm supposed to give you the other one. All right, here's that clip. See his hair? It looks good. I mean, it looks good. It's not white. It's not white yet, people. It's not white. It looks good. Okay? But, I mean, this is a minute ago. Is the date on this thing? No. No date anywhere. No. Anyway. This is it. This is it. So, let's hear what he has to say.
XRP is like a Bitcoin. It's a digital asset. It's today the third most valuable digital asset. And what we do is we take a transaction between banks, and instead of having a bank pre-fund an account at the other bank, which is how correspondent banking works today. The Bank of Brad in dollars would pre-fund to the Bank of Julia, perhaps in pounds, and then I would debit and credit that. But that means I have to pre-fund and have dormant capital sitting at that other bank. What we allow banks to do, we allow payment providers to do, is to tap into the liquidity of XRP liquidity. So today there's lots of liquidity between XRP and US dollar. There's lots of liquidity between XRP and British pound. And you could tap into that to move value in real time, in seconds. And even compared to Bitcoin, which takes up to 12 minutes to complete one transaction, XRP is extremely fast at about 3 seconds per transaction. That has meant XRP is extremely scalable in contrast to how Bitcoin works. The consumer itself doesn't actually see that it's flowing through XRP to solve their problem, but the consumer...
Right there. They don't see it's even doing it.
Consumer sees is simply a better product at a better price. And so we're seeing more momentum than we've ever had around using XRP to move this liquidity around the world. And so we couldn't really be happier about how that has played out in a world where there's still a lot, I think, of FUD, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of doubt about what's going on in crypto. This is a real use case solving a real problem for real customers.
It is. Now, let's fast forward this puppy, all right? 10 years now, okay? We're going to go 10 years now, and we're going to fast forward. And here he is now.
I mean, Ripple, So, I mean, Ripple. I joined Ripple in 2015, and almost from the beginning, in the earliest times that I remember first meeting Yoni, Ripple has been focused on serving that infrastructure layer around, particularly cross-border payments. Obviously, there's a lot of opportunity for crypto in the payments industry at large. And when Ripple kind of looked at this, and we looked at the unique attributes of XRP, kind of the digital asset native to our tech stack, we felt like cross-border payments is an area where there's a ton of friction, a ton of cost. I think Team eToro knows this well, given they're a very global business. And I imagine, both of you, Sam, Yoni, have dealt with this personally in some way. And so, the antiquated system, generally referred to as, a SWIFT wire transfer, it was designed 50 years ago. It tends to be rather slow, expensive, and error prone. So we started focusing on that.
Cool. So when everybody's like, oh, yeah, they're not going to use the new system. They're not going to use the new system that they're forced to use and blah, 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 blah. They're going to use that error-prone, clunky system. They're not going to save $6 trillion. They're not going to save 90% of fees. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. You guys are crazy. You guys are quacks. Okay? You guys need to stop allowing yourselves to be manipulated into a slave. Because if you are that easily blinded, I mean, this is going to be the big starting line. We don't know how big it's going to be. We can only estimate things. We don't know how much is going to be, like a true estimate. I don't know. I don't know. See, it's funny because, it's $150 trillion annually that moves through SWIFT, but we don't know if it's 404 daily or if it like skips days or skips months, and you have big parts and little part, you know what I mean? So we could be on a part that it doesn't even flow the money yet, but when it does, hold on to your seats. It's going to be a big moment. But I am telling you that I know it does move something, because it does 56 million messages daily. Look it up. Might be more. So if it's doing 56 million messages daily, and messages like that are talking about money, okay, it could be more than that, but it's talking about moving money, okay, and they're talking about they're working on this, okay, and if you think they're not big and you don't think they're going across somewhere, look at this, look.
Let's do this thing. Hi.
All right, here we go. Let's watch this.
Hi, I'm Lauren Beliv, and this is Crypto in a Minute. It all comes down to my favorite quote from The West Wing. Decisions are made by those who show up. And in 2024, Ripple showed up. It was the Biden administration, and we were under Gary Gensler's reign of terror, where he issued over 100 different enforcement actions across the crypto industry. That is not regular order. So Ripple decided to really invest its time and energy in the political process, working tirelessly to educate bipartisan members on our technology and our work around consumer protection. We went to the DNC, we invested into the RNC, and we participated throughout the campaign cycle. And now we have the most pro-crypto Congress, as well as a pro-crypto president. We attended the inauguration along with the inaugural White House Crypto Summit. We are working with Congress as it puts pen to paper on bipartisan legislation that will define the next 100 years of our industry. And we are excited about all the potential that there is to come. Boom. How is that?
I feel good. I condensed 6 years of my life into 60 seconds. Hi, this is...
All right. They're working on legislation. They're working with Congress. We have a pro-Congress, pro-president. We actually have a president that's pro, because he's already said, hey, they've debanked me. I'm a part. I've seen the pyramid scheme that the bankers are. I mean, we all knew it was going to go here. I mean, first, guys, this is such a crazy time. You should all be thanking God right now that you are in a moment. She also just said this is going to redefine the next 100 and something years of this. We are early. We are early, dude. This is great news, people. This is the biggest news ever. You have Saudi saying, I'm gonna do, $1 trillion. I'm gonna do $1 trillion, dude. And it's lining up with the 1970. It's like history is the same, but it's different. Before it was in closed deal. Now it's like, hey, tell everybody in open that I'm gonna do $1 trillion instead of 600 billion. And I want to be a part of this. Did I say payment? I didn't say nothing. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Come. I'm telling everybody right now, he wants to be a part of the next financial shift because it's of all world wealth, not just oil. Everything you see, everything you sit on, everything you eat, everything you think about eating, probably, not think, but anything you pay for, it's going to be on this. All world wealth will eventually be on this. Mark my word, November 22nd is the beginning to this massive move. I hope everybody got something out of this video. If you did, I love you. If you didn't, I love you too. God bless you. And I pray that God continues to move in our lives. I pray that God continues to just connect the dots. I pray that God helps all of you understand this. Because there was a day when I heard people talking about all this stuff and I was like, Lord, I want to know. Because I know there's something going on here. There's something going on. And it doesn't feel right. It feels like if I don't know, my family could be really trapped in a really bad situation. And it doesn't feel like we're diversified. And if I want to diversify this way, I need to understand it at least. What's the utility? What's the purpose? What's the solution? What is it fixing? Oh, it's going to help our debt problem. Oh, it's going to rebuild our treasury. Oh, it's going to probably rebuild the power of our dollar. Wow. What? This is a financial change that's probably not going to happen for another 1,000 plus years. Holy moly. We are living in the best time in history. I hope you guys all get this. I hope you see this video. And let me put it on this because this guy always, I don't know where I'm going to take the video right now, but let's see some more. Let's see Stuart Otterati right here. Let's see what he has to say. Because this is the lawyer, okay? He's the lawyer. He was, and see, this is another thing I got to say. This Xrpl, everybody, the Xrpl, the XRP, the Ripple, everything. Yeah, when everybody's like, they're not going to use XRP. You need to stop, spreading the FUD and blah, 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 blah. I'll be like, okay, what are they going to use? Who did they sue for 5 years and know all the ins and outs and everything about him? And let me ask you something. Okay, so you're going to use the person that you know nothing about. You don't know off the block. They're brand new or they've been on the block, but you still don't know. You don't know. You've never been inside their house. You've just seen them at the grocery store. Or you've talked to them at church every once in a while. You don't know them more than that. Okay, never visited, never saw what they live like, how they are, or anything like that. Okay, what I'm trying to say is you're not going to use a random nobody that you know nothing for to be the instant settlement layer for all world wealth. you're going to want to know every little cranny thing about them before you even consider anything. Okay, and they sued him for, number one, I believe that was the show part of it. Shame on me for thinking it's more sinister. Shame on me for thinking both parties played a role in having the best theatrical movie ever, financial movie ever, to think that this one was doing this and this one was doing that. But in all reality, it was just the best show ever. And no matter what, I loved it. I enjoyed it. I mean, I thought it was great. You know, I thought it was a very brilliant, well-played theatrical. I mean, some of it was kind of like, you know, the Friday the 13th movies where you're like, okay, here he comes. He's about to stab somebody. Yep. Here it comes. Yep. I mean, those were some of the moments. Now, I don't like scary movies like that, but, you know, they were kind of predictable when I did watch them. And I'm just saying some of these things are predictable because they literally are telling us, hey, we're joining the new shift. Hey, we're starting the golden age. Hey, we're doing this. Hey, we're putting, you know, XRP on our strategic reserve. Hey, you know, we're working with Congress. Hey, we're doing this on policy. Stuart Otterati, you know, talking about right here, you know, he's going to tell you, hey, we've been through all these court. We basically were proving this. So they were proven squeaky clean through the lawsuit. All right. And right now, and, you know, another funny thing is Jed McCaleb was never mentioned in the lawsuit, but yet they gave him billions of XRP to leave, probably because he was the one for the people. But that's on a different subject. Bottom line is that they're going to use that too. Okay. XLM, Stellar, what he's a part of now, which was part of Ripple, XRP. But anyway, they're going to use the one that they know everything about because they can tell everybody, hey, man, we put him through court. We've done this. We've done that. If you want to get used, yeah, we'll do the same thing. Let us look at everything you got. That's the sinker. That's the slam dunk moment. That's when never mind. I don't want them looking in my backyard. Nope. And they know that. They already know that. That's why they did it the way they did it. That's why they had the show the way they had the show, baby. That's why the lights, camera, action. We're on the moon. Okay? This is just a different moon. It's a digital moon. It's a moon getting ready to have a party. And I guarantee you, 2027 from now, you're going to be, you know, if this video gets any likes or anything, or XRP does go crazy, they're going to be like, man, I wonder if that guy still has all that XRP. I bet, man, holy moly, does he even make a video anymore? And I will be, because these videos are for my kids to understand so they can question things, for my friends to understand things that are out there right now. Because I have tons of friends out there. I have tons of friends that have no clue that things are getting ready to switch and change, and they're sitting, and then they'll look at the market. Oh man, Nick, the market's really bad. Oh man, Nick, the market looks like in 1944, 1945, when, you know, Europe and everybody was buying bonds to keep the wars up and going. But, you know, the funny thing is that my theory is that all these investors got together and then they started selling out the bonds and made a big fear, uncertainty, and doubt go on in the market, where bonds were concerned with Europe, where it caused the people of Europe to sell the bonds, and then the bond market to crash, and then just mysteriously all the investors bought up the dip. And the residents, the retail, did not own the bonds of Europe anymore. All right, institutions did. big corporations. All right, don't be shooken out. Keep your strong hands and understand this thing has been fact checked and it has been through the law system, people. And this is proof it's been through the law system. 60 minutes of proof.
I'm Alderty, and this is Crypto in a Minute. So why did the SEC drop its appeal against Ripple? I think the real question is, why did they bring the case at all? The SEC has not only dropped its appeal against Ripple, they've now dropped every case against every crypto company in the United States. Why? Because the SEC has now admitted what we've always been saying, that you can't bring enforcement actions for violating the law without first explaining what the law is, and we never had clear laws, rules, and regulations regarding crypto in this country. So we're going to clean up the mess, we're going to get out of the courtroom, we're going to get back to running business, and we're going to now press forward, working with Congress to get smart crypto regulation in place that protects consumers, that protects the integrity of the market, that keeps bad actors out, and most importantly, allows the innovation to flourish.
Allows the innovation to flourish. People, I love you. Have a blessed day. Have a blessed day.